thankful for the way these stories hold on to the lifetime we won't get back. I know these rivers carry on. People tend to stick to you after time. Places tend to do the same as we do. This river carries on and on.
Hello and welcome to Kankakee Podcast, where we talk about the people and places of Kankakee County. I'm Jake Lamore, and once again on the podcast, we are joined by another Jake who happens to be one of our wonderful patrons. If you sign up for our patron program at KankakeePodcast.com and you pledge $100 or more per month, one of the many rewards you get is to be a guest on an episode, and you're the first one.
Yes.
Actually.
Am I?
You are the first one to have pledged $100
Wow.
or more.
I know.
Yeah. So let's welcome Jake Vaughn to the podcast.
What's up? How you guys doing?
So, Jake, it is great to have you here.
Well, thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for all of your support over the years. Not just with Kankakee Podcast, but when I was hosting the Wake and Jake Morning Show on WFAV, you were a big supporter and listener of that, and I truly appreciate that. So it's cool that we get to sit down and talk. I mean, we've talked obviously in person together here and there when
multiple
we've seen
times.
we've seen each other out and about.
Yeah, I think the first time we met was Friendship Fest, I think, right? Because it was Battle of the Bands when I was with my band.
Was that the first time?
I believe so. That was like maybe 5 years ago, something like that.
Oh gosh, it wasn't that long ago, was it?
I think so. I don't know.
Well, it was pre-pandemic. Maybe it was the year right before the pandemic. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. But I was in high school.
Wasn't that between your junior and senior year? Or was it just after your senior year?
I think it was maybe between. I don't remember.
What year did you graduate?
2019.
2000. Oh, okay.
So I think so.
Yeah.
Because I remember I met you and then Best Jess, who
Mm-hmm.
we're both good friends with, and
Mm-hmm.
I love her. But, I think it was before we had a conversation because I was roading at the Friendship Fest, actually. And it was a fun gig.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, it must have been 18 or 19,
Something
maybe.
like that.
Yeah,
Something
like that. Doesn't really matter. But regardless, we have met before.
Yes.
And I think the last time was I think we saw each other at Oktoberfest.
Yes.
Maybe Vantino Oktoberfest.
Yes, because it was.
You gave me a whole thing of brownies.
Yes.
Dude,
Yeah. Aren't those the best?
they were so
Yes.
good.
And I had to change my clothes before coming here because we made banana nut muffins.
Oh, dude,
Oh my
that sounds
gosh,
good.
It's so good.
So you're still working at Rise?
Yes, Rise Baking Company.
Rise
It
Bake-
used to be Dawn Foods, but I'm
Yes.
working there. But I'm doing 2 jobs right now, actually.
Mhm.
Well, 3 technically, counting the.
What's the other job?
So besides music, I'm working there, and I also sometimes travel to like Chicago or whatever to do recording. I don't know if that would count
Oh.
as like a separate job. But
Well, I mean, it's a job.
Yeah.
If
yes,
it can.
at least, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
But working at Rise, I wondered, like, when you gave me that big tray of brownies, and they were I think a big sponsor of Oktoberfest this last year of
Rise
19
Baking.
October.
Yes.
Yeah. Excuse me. And do they sell their baked goods like in stores, or where do
Yes.
they sell it at?
So, from what I know, we sell it at Sam's Clubs. We get those from
Okay.
Sam's Clubs, and we also have ones that are thicker. I wish I was joking.
They were thick because the ones the brownies you gave me were
There's
very
some that
thick.
are thicker.
And so it was like a I don't know exactly how thick, but it was thick and it was like a good size rectangle or square.
It was a rectangle one.
Yeah. They were huge.
But those are from, I think, Sam's. But we do Sam's if you go to Panera, and we make brownies for them. I believe we do Costco, but I could be wrong. So don't quote me.
I mean, if you do Sam's,
Walmart. I know we do a lot for Walmart because one of our other plants does the the little like cakes. You know what I'm talking about? Without the like the lettering or anything, just the plain cakes.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, we make those too. But,
okay. Wow.
So yeah, I know. But we run 3 lines. One's the PDM, which is the pre-deposited muffins, which if you go to I think Panera does it and Sam's, they bake it themselves there. So we send them the batter inside like a little tray and they make it all there.
I think that's kind of like what Dunkin' Donuts does.
Yes.
Something similar to that.
They do something similar to that, yes.
Or maybe, it's like frozen or something.
I don't remember. I think they're frozen because somebody told me about that.
Something along those lines.
Yeah.
To where they make them there, but it's like
but they don't.
They're already halfway.
Yeah,
they're like made pretty much, and they just gotta throw them in some type of oven or
not like an easy bake oven, but an oven.
Yeah, but so I ate so many of those brownies. I forget how many was in that sheet, but it was like it was a huge sheet. I remember I gave some. I think to my family, and I was like, I can't, I'm going to eat all these. And what didn't help is at the time, my girlfriend Lizzie was on a very strict diet.
Oh, no, I remember her telling me that.
And so it really left it up to mainly me eating
What, did your son eat?
I can't remember.
I think you gave him one
at the
Oktoberfest.
I might have.
Yeah, because I think I remember. Because he was like, "Oh, these are so good," and you're like, "Yeah, that's only one. That's all you're getting."
Yeah.
That's what my mom used to do. She was like, "Okay, one. Okay, you're gonna be off the walls. That's it."
Yeah. No, my son loves his sweets just like his dad. So.
Oh yeah.
And his mother is a huge sweets fanatic too, so
really?
The poor kid has a rough future ahead of him.
Sorry, Lizzie.
Yeah. So you were you born and raised in Kankakee County?
Yes, I was born at Riverside actually, and I grew up on 8th Avenue, which is not too far from the studio here.
Yes, that's true. We're not that
right
far
by
at
the Civic Center. Civic Center? Yeah. Civic
Center.
Center.
That 8th. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure because there's, what is it? South 8th.
Yeah.
North 8th.
Yeah.
North 8th is actually literally really close to here.
Yeah.
But that would be South.
Yeah, I lived on South
8th. Yeah. That would be right by the museum.
Yeah, the museum, which I think when the Strawberry Fest, they had that open. That's cool.
Yes. Yeah. This year, the Strawberry Fest is once again at Northfield Square Mall.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. So they needed more space.
Oh, well, yeah, because they have so many vendors. When I went there, this was probably a few years ago. They had so many vendors there, and I know the one time it was like really, really like rainy out or something, and all the vendors were like complaining because they were like, "Oh my God, mud! Oh, mud!"
Well, I think that was part of the problem. As I think the last year they had the Strawberry Jazz Festival at the Kankakee County Museum campus.
Yes, because it was
there was like a flash flood. It was just a muddy mess.
Well, that's Friendship Fest was the same way because it used to be. If you guys live in Bourbonnais or Bourbonnais, whatever you want to call
Bourbonnais, come on.
Sorry, Jake. It used to be like on the fields and all that, and then somebody decided to put them on the street, which is a good idea.
Yes.
But that's always fun to go to. I love that.
Yeah, I remember going to the Friendship Fest when they put a good majority of the rides on the grass.
Yes.
And especially in June when there's a lot of precipitation, there's a lot of rain.
Yeah. And like I barely did any rides. I don't think I ever did any rides. I could be wrong, but I mostly went for the music and all that, and
right,
because this year Anthem's playing again and Silhouettes and all them, which I love.
I think Southside Social Club is playing again.
Yes. My friend Matt Yeager.
Yes.
Jägermeister.
And also the Battle of the Band. I think the Battle of the Bands is happening. I mean, It usually does.
It usually does. Yeah, I think that Friday or something.
I haven't heard that they're not doing it.
No, I haven't either.
I was a judge for it last year, which was a lot of fun. I did see you at that because I think you were helping with equipment or something.
Yeah, I was doing equipment and all that with our mutual friend Doug Wheeler.
Yeah. So what happened when that's funny to put. I guess what I wanted to ask was you started your parents were living in Kankakee.
Yes.
And then
my mom lived on she actually right by here. They lived right by here, and then they moved to it's like maybe 2 blocks from me. Which it was kind of funny because where I lived, I could walk to my grandparents' house, and my great grandparents lived like right across the street, basically. So it's kind of like
Mm-hmm. And where did you get the music bug from?
So, my grandparents, they had records, and if you know who I am, I love my records. So my grandpa showed me, I think it was Elvis or one of them. And I was just like, that you can make that a career. Cause I learned guitar when I was like really little. And, I got my first drum set when I was little too. And, I was like, this is like cool. Like they get to do stuff like, they get to meet people and they get to see, big places, because that's what I wanted to do. Honestly, I didn't care about, like put my name on a billboard and, a funny picture. I wanted just to travel and to, meet other people. And that's, that was when I was like 5 or something, when I was really little.
When you're getting introduced to Elvis.
Yeah, Elvis. I was actually before that. But I really didn't get the, the urge to do music when I was, until I was like 5 or 6,
So what did you start learning an instrument that early?
Yeah, I was 5, I think, and my grandparents were like, well, let's put him in guitar. And I was like, I want to be a drummer.
Guitar at 5?
Yeah, something like that. And I was
although I shouldn't say that because my son, actually, he's 5 right now. He was just asking me the other day if he could get guitar lessons.
And I was like, I want to be a drummer. I want to be a drummer. And my grandparents were like, no,
that's too loud.
No, that's too loud. But they were like,
stop.
But they were like, where are you going to put your drum set? Because I lived in a little house in 8th Avenue.
Sure.
Okay, okay. I was 5 years old. I thought I knew everything. So I started it, and I just kind of dropped it for a while, and I was like, I'm going to do drums. So I was still living in Kankakee, and I went to St. Joe's, which is now Bishop Mack Catholic Schools or something. And the drummer dropped out. He was like, I'm not going to do it anymore, like, because he was older and he didn't want to do it. So I was like, I'm going to fill in. I didn't tell anybody about it, that I was drumming in that church. So that was on a Monday. On a Wednesday, that's when they had the Catholic mass and all that. And I'm sitting in the drum booth, and all these kids are walking by like, what's Jake doing? He's behind a drum set. Well, then I started playing, and I will never forget this. My 6th grade teacher, Miss Thompson, after I was done and all that, she came over to me and she's like, you know how to play drum set? Like, you actually know how to play drum set? I'm like, yeah, because I was little. I was like, yeah, I do. Who do you think you are, teacher? But
did you say it just like that?
Yeah, I was sassy. Wow. But then she was like, you need to, pick up on this because that's what you're good at, and you always listen to music. I mean, from the older 50s to like newer, sorry. Even like the Etta James and all that, and that's kind of how I do my things now. I just do the older stuff and tell the stories,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you started to play drums was it like the youth?
Yeah,
mass,
it was like a youth mass kind of thing. And then after I got out of grade school, I got invited back for a few masses, and then the director moved on. She went somewhere else to do her own thing, so it was kind of nice.
Yeah. And so from there, was band an option at that time?
So, if my former band director hears this, she's gonna laugh because she knows the story.
Who is your former band director?
Know who it's Vanessa Roosh.
Vanessa Roosh. I don't know if I know her. Do I know her?
She works she's now at Bradley Central schools, but she was at Mac. So the Mac program, it was like, it had a weird name.
Doesn't sound familiar.
It had a weird, like the band name was weird. I can't remember, but it was all the Catholic schools. And she saw me play, or somebody asked her about me. I've never heard that kid. So she came with by herself and was like, this kid's good. I want to get him in band. Well, then, when you say drummer, it's, drum set and all that. So she was like, I want you to be in band. Okay. First time I played mallets. I about had a heart attack. I'm like, I'm a drummer. I don't do that mallet stuff. I'm a drummer. So then I dropped out. Fast forward to high school, I got my urge to be a music teacher, which I'm not in college anymore. I might go back. And she was like, so you should have kept up with your grade school years, didn't you? You should have. I was like, I'm sorry. I don't know, But sometimes I go over there in the summer. Well, I used to go over there in the summers and help out with them. And we had, I played a few songs for the jazz band and all that, but it was fun doing that stuff.
And of course, in high school, you had Bill Dyke.
Oh, Mr. Billy D on the radio.
And speaking of Bill, he's retiring this year.
Yes, I was so sad about that. He was one of my favorites.
I think might have to sit down with him for a chat on the podcast since he's retiring. So.
I would love to be there with that because he will tell so many stories about me.
Oh yeah, I mean about you. Yeah, what story would he tell about Jake Vaughn?
Oh God, he's got so many of them. I think because him and the percussion instructor. Well, I knew the percussion instructor because her daughter went to school at my mom's school at Bradley Central. She's a school nurse over there, so I knew about the daughter, but I didn't know about the mom. So she knew me because of my mom, and she's got so many stories about me. Both of them do.
Well, I want to know, what are these stories? What story would Bill Dyke have about you?
This is during marching band, and I hope he tells the same story that I'm telling right now. And I'm going to put this: if you don't tell this story, I'm going to be so disappointed. So going on about me not reading music, I always did it by ear, and that's how I learned it. I never learned how to read music because I was like, I don't need to. I'm good with my ears. So I played bass drum as a freshman. And he's like, oh, we'll put the music on there because I think it was for Friendship Fest or something. So for
marching band.
Yes, for marching band.
Yeah.
So I was messing up. And so he yelled at me from up in he had like a ladder thing that I think Kankakee uses one like that, but he yelled at me like, oh, you gotta read, like just started screaming at me. Didn't realize I didn't know how to read music. Came up to me, I think he came up to me or something and was like, do you know how to read music? And I was like, no. He's like, okay, that makes sense. Because I just kept messing. I tried to listen in. Well, when you're in percussion, you have two places you can listen to, so I tried to listen in, and during marching season, it is not fun because you're spaced out so much you can't really.
I was gonna say that doesn't work.
No, it really
in
doesn't.
Marching band too much because you're relying on sight more than anything.
Yes.
I mean, you're relying on sight when you're just doing a regular concert.
That's what
But you're not. You're usually in a enclosed space, whereas marching band, you're usually outdoors.
Yeah.
And so that leaves sound nowhere to bounce.
Exactly. Yeah, I know.
It's just gone.
And then everyone's like, I'm in marching band. I'm like, I'm lucky just to be sitting here right now at this point,
So then did Bill Dyke teach you how to read music?
He kind of led me and was like, okay, this is how you do this. This is how you do that. And then I took lessons also during the summer because I was like, well,
I got take lessons from
King Music, our local music store.
Who at King?
It was Dean Manuth is his name. Good old Dean Manuth, love him. He's in a band too. I can't remember. He was telling me about it, but Dyke and the percussion instructor, I can't think of her name on the top of my head. We're like, well, let's take lessons. I'll hook you up with King Music. And I was like, I already know the Kings. Like, I went there since I was itty bitty, and Ben King's actually a good friend of both of ours. So I did, and then I took it from all my high school year, and then when I went to college, I had it with the percussion instructor there, but ended up learning how to read music real quick. Let me tell you, it was a crash course of here. We're gonna throw you under the bus real quick and hope you survive.
That's that's sometimes the best way you learn.
Yeah,
not all the time.
No,
but,
not all the time.
And
but
there is always that point after learning so much. That's really your only.
Oh no,
that's kind of like the final. You got to take the training wheels off, as I always say.
Yeah, you got to take it. And even with like drum set, when I was teaching, teaching quote unquote, over at Bradley Central, I always say, you know, it's good to read music, but you also got to learn how to do it by ear. Like when I'm in gigs doing stuff, I'm playing songs that, you know, like Journey and Toto and all that stuff, and I have to rely more on my ears because some of those songs I know what it sounds like, but it's like, how do I translate it to a drum set, or how do I translate it to this or that? Even when I was in lap percussion ensemble, which I was in college, I would listen to a song and be like, okay, well, this is where it fits in. And I'm that kind of nerd that listens to music and is like, oh, that's so cool.
It just depends on what you're playing.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially, I mean, if you're playing rock and roll or R&B or any of those things, most of the time you are kind of going off feeling.
Oh yeah, that's most of it is like that too. And even when I was with my band, Instead Tomorrow, a lot of the songs I didn't know, like it's not that I didn't know it, but I wasn't familiar enough with like the drum parts because I didn't listen to them. I grew up, you know, with my grandparents because my parents got divorced in like I think 2011 or something. So I live with my grandparents, so I always listen to their music, you know, the Etta James and the Louis Armstrong and the Grassroots and, you know, all kinds of stuff. So I knew that music more than, you know, the newer stuff because I really didn't care about it because it wasn't, for me, it wasn't interesting. It didn't pull me in, you know. That's easy way to put it.
Right. Everyone is attracted to a certain genre.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Or sometimes it's all over the place.
Well, yeah, and if you're attracted to it's, you got to find what you like. Like, my little sisters love like R&B and rap. I don't know about my other sister, Emily. My mom, she likes the 90s, like the Backstreet Boys and all kinds of stuff. My stepdad is kind of like in the middle. He likes what I like, but he also is like, you know, 80s. He always is like, oh, I'm an 80s kid. I'm like, dude, you were born. No, stop. I'm like, come on, really? But I love him to death.
So, I mean, I feel like I should be asking you, what do you want to talk about? Since you're the one that, you know, has supported Kankakee Podcast, you know, gave your pledge, got your spot here on the podcast to be a guest. So
and hopefully we can do this again, you know.
Yeah, what do you want to talk about?
Oh, anything. I'm an open book. You know, I talk about anything.
Well, I'm sure there's something in particular though that maybe you wanted to talk about. I could sit here
for 3 hours and talk about music.
3 hours? That's a long time.
Or you know, I can sit here all day and talk about music.
Well, what are you currently doing music-wise?
So right now, I'm kind of, because I did work background for a while. I started technically when I was 15 doing local, and then it kind of branched out from there working with other, you know, bigger artists, people who background the bigger artists, you know, and getting to do all that. And right now I'm just kind of doing my own thing, you know, going to open mic nights, doing karaoke nights, doing local gigs, professional gigs, whatever I can get my hands on, you know. So it's a little bit of everything, you know. And
where were you last playing?
For open mic or just regular gig?
Any gig.
I think the last one was probably in I think it's Shabant's or something. I can't remember. It was a bar gig, and Tim O'Brien, who runs it, invited me out because I went to another bar and I did some songs. And he's like, "Oh, you're really good and you have a history with all these people. I want you to come and like just do as many songs as you want." Okay, so I did 5 songs and then listened to all the other people, which they had some good people. They had some good people, and I was like, "Oh," and I gotta what? But it's always fun to do local stuff like that and get to meet people and connect with people. But the other place I like to go is Off the Vine in Moments, actually. Cheap plug. Off the Vine in Moments, they have their karaoke nights. And I think whenever this releases, I think next Saturday is karaoke night, which is the 16th.
So you're a big karaoke guy. So what do you sing when you do karaoke? So
I sing anything at this point. Like when I'm in Naperville doing it, over there, one of the guys that I know is like, "Can you tell a story and then sing the song?" Yeah, I guess. So most of the time I'll do like, the Turtles or, the older songs. And I tell, like in my shows, I tell the story. I say it's the backstage pass where you're time traveling and getting that kind of the inside of the artist and how they came to be and the songs they wrote. Like I did Tommy James and I told, that song Moni. Oh, the Moni Moni. Not the one that I know, but Tommy James Shondells. Should I tell the story or,
Tell the story.
All right, let's go. So when he was in New York, he was basically in his hotel room and he was trying to figure out this, "It's she come now, say," and he's trying all these names. Well, none of them were going. He tried like 6 or 7 names. So he goes, "Well, I'm going to take a break. Well, he went out like right by where the window was and he saw Municipal of New York, MONY. That's how the name Moni Moni came to be.
Huh, really?
Yep.
That's cool. See, I didn't know that story.
Because who else did it? It was Tommy James and then somebody else did it that is like pop, I think pop punk-ish. Billy Joe something, I think, right?
Oh, that's I think We're Alone Now.
Oh, We're Alone Now?
Yeah, he did I Think We're Alone Now.
Yeah, he did another one too, I think, right?
Another sure. Tommy James song? I mean, he could have, but that's the only one that I personally know of.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Billy Joe Armstrong likes Tommy James in the show.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, it's possible that he's
exactly.
done more than more than I Think We're Alone Now. But that was the one that was popular when during the 2020 COVID pandemic striking and hitting everybody. That song actually topped it hit the charts. I forget exactly where it charted.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Billy's version did.
Yeah, because I don't think a lot of people know. Like some of the songs that I sing, they're like, "Oh, that's so and so." I'm like, that's not the version I was thinking of. But it's weird to do a song and they're like, "Oh, I know that song because this person sang it." I'm like, I didn't even know they did that song.
Right. Yes.
Like, I did.
It happened so much with a lot of artists from 50s and the 60s.
Yeah, exactly. And like some of the sounds now, like, there was one song that I listened to and I was like, my sister was playing it. And I was like, I know that from somewhere. And it was a song from like, I think the 50s or something, Billie Holiday song that, or Bill Holler, but whatever his name is, I don't know. I'm tired.
Billie Holiday?
Yeah. No. Oh God, I can't think of his name. But anyways, he's just every day it's singing.
Oh, Buddy Holly.
Buddy Holly. That's it. I had a brain fart. Okay. But
he's one of my favorites.
I love him too.
Yeah.
But somebody recently did a song, and that was like one of the. It was the instrumental to, I think, one of his songs. And I said, "Well, that's, so-and-so." And my sister goes, "Who's that?" And I was like, "Okay, get out of my car right now. If you don't know who that is."
Well, how old is your sister?
She is in high school right now. She goes to VB. Funny fact. I think she's 15, so she really...
Oh, give her a break.
I know.
Come on, man.
I'm that brother that's like, I'm going to introduce you to music, which she likes some of the, like, the Journey and the Toto, and there's some other ones, too, that she likes, because my grandma likes them, too. The Animals. But I was like, how do you not hear that? And it must be just me because I'm musician wise. You just hear that and be like, oh,
She was probably introduced to different things.
Yeah. And it's one of those things that it's, I hate to say, I don't know if this is the right word, but the age gap, I guess, between 15 and 21. Like, she really didn't grow up with my grandparents like I did.
Well, that would be why.
Yeah. And like, I hear stuff differently than she does. And, you know, and I love her to death. Like, she played was it the horse or something in marching band? And I was like, I know the original one. She's like, oh, really? And I played it for her and she goes, that sounds exactly like it. Yeah, honey, thanks. Yeah. Yeah, thank you.
So you brought your guitar.
I did.
And what do you want to play?
So I don't know. So I guess I'll just tell a story and go from there.
All right.
So the first time I ever picked up a guitar, I was interested in like all these different artists and all that, but I'm gonna try and play it, but because I haven't played the song. Well, I played it, but I haven't really practiced it that much. But oh shoot!
Oh yeah, be careful. Yeah, be careful.
Just yank the headphones like that.
Yeah, I think you're good. You should have enough headphone length. Yeah.
By the way, getting into here, I don't know how many security guards you need, but they all they asked, "Who are you?" I said, "Jake Vaughn," and they said, "Who are you again?"
Yeah. I have so many security guards, you know.
I didn't know you had that many. What?
I have a lot of enemies, you know.
Yeah, around the Kankakee area.
Yes, yeah. I made people dislike me so much when I did Wake and Jake.
Oh,
that's really what it was.
Well, when I remember the first time I heard Wake and Jake, and I remember it clearly. I was going to school. This was at BB. And I was just listening to radio with my sister, and I heard, "Oh, it's Wake and Jake and with Jake Lamore." I'm like, I know him.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah, I love.
I do miss Wake and Jake. It was
Hopefully
a good time.
My guitar's tuned too.
You got time to tune it
bit.
If you've got a tuner.
I do. It's I think on my phone.
There you go.
But how did Wake and Jake come about? I want to know that.
How did Wake and Jake come about?
Yeah.
Well, it was simply I was offered the morning show on WFAV in August of 2017 because Chris Nichols left the company at that time because he was doing mornings.
Yeah, he was doing mornings for a while. I know that.
For a long time. And so I don't know, it just kind of popped into my head because of the whole wake and bake
thing, the wake and bake
you know?
thing, yeah.
But see, I don't smoke marijuana. I don't smoke anything, matter of fact. But I was like, what instead of wake and bake, instead of waking up and smoking a joint, you wake up and you listen to Jake. So I thought Wake and Jake.
Well, yeah.
Instead of, you know.
Yeah, because I remember listening to it and be like, Wake and Jake. That's cool, but why Wake and Jake?
So that's where Wake it's a play from, you know, Wake and Bake. And I thought for sure, see, I didn't tell my boss before I, you know, said, "Hey, I'm going to call the show Wake and Jake."
Oh my God.
I didn't tell him that. So I just started saying it on the show, and I thought for sure he was going to pull the plug on it because of the reference, but he never. It never came up, so I guess I was okay.
Oh shoot. But yeah, so I actually did this at a local gig, and it's kind of funny. So do you remember the Partridge Family as a kid?
Yeah, I didn't really watch that much. I was more into Bewitched and I Dream of Jeannie and Gilligan's Island.
Do you know who the band is that they're referencing?
Who is the band that they're referencing?
It's the Cowsills.
Oh, okay.
They do a bunch of songs, and they're from the 60s ish.
Right.
But it was kind of cool because I saw them in concert probably like 3 or 4 years ago. And I worked with somebody who was actually with the Cowsills for a while, to playing drum set. And so backstage, they always do like their warm-ups. And then they do a song all the time. They're like, oh, let's do this song. Let's do this song. Well, he was like, grab your guitar real quick and we're going to do this song. And he told them what the song was. They're like, oh, that's perfect. I love that song. And it's actually based, I think, off of actual road. Indian Lake is the song.
Oh, okay.
So
I know that song.
I'm gonna try it.
There you go.
You take a bus mark to Lakewood Drive and you keep on riding till you're out of the city, where the air is fine like a sweet smelling pine in the countryside springing, where you see daffodils hanging over the hills, or a honey-loving mama bear. Just take a left at the bridge, run down in Kingtown Ridge now, and in a minute you're there. Let's go to Indian Lake. There's a scene you should make if you're a little one. Keep it in mind if you're looking to find a place in the summer sun, where you can swim in the cold, have a snack in the grove, or you can rent a canoe. Yes, you can rent a canoe. At Indian Lake, you'll be able to make it the way the Indians do. And that's actually the end of the song, but the Cowsills were like, no, let's do more. So they added ba-doom bop, bop, 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 ba-dum, na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. Let's go to Indian Lake. There's a scene you should make if you're a little one. To keep it in mind if you're looking to find a place in the summer sun, where you can swim in the cove, have a snack in the grove, or you can be on the Wake and Take show. At Indian Lake, you'll be able to make it the way the Indians do. Let's go to Indian Lake. There's a scene you should make it your little one. To keep it in mind if you're looking to find a place in the summer sun, where you can swim in the cold, have a snack in the grove, or you can rent a canoe. At Indian Lake, you'll be able to make the way the Indians do. At Indian Lake, you'll be able to make the way the Indians do. At Indian Lake, you'll be able to make the way the Indians do. So it's kind of like that. I tried.
Good job. Nice.
I tried. Solo. Okay.
Oh, you cracked me up with the Wake and Jake part.
Oh, yeah. I had to. Well, when I do Come Sail, or is it Come Sail Away, when they're talking, some happy, some sad, think of childhood friends, other dreams we had. I always say the town name, or if somebody's in the crowd that I know.
You say their name.
Yeah, I say their name. The one time I said my girlfriend's name, and her friend was right by her, and she started blushing so hard, and her friend's like, why are you blushing? She's like, that's my boyfriend. He said my name. I don't like that. So after she goes, if you do that again, I'm gonna kill you.
She doesn't like it. Doesn't like to be recognized.
Well, here's the thing between me and her. Like, I'm like the more as you know, I'm the outgoing person. She's more like
introverted.
Like an introvert more, and it bugs me to death because I'll be like vibing at a gig.
Attract, man.
And I'll be vibing at a gig, and she'll just be sitting there like somebody kicked her dog or something. And it's like that's the reference I could think of on the top of my head, because she just sits there.
Well, it sounds like you're lucky that she even comes out to some
I know,
of those shows, you know.
Well, the first time she ever heard me perform, she was with a friend. And I said, well, I'm going to do, because they had a karaoke night at one of the bars in Aurora, actually. And I said, well, I'm going to do some songs that are just just to see. Okay, yeah, I'm going to get my friend. Well, her friend never heard me sing. She never did. So I started singing, I think it was Happy Together or one of those songs, and her jaw dropped to the floor. She goes, I didn't know you had a voice like that. I was like, yeah, because she never was like, oh yeah, can you play guitar for me? Yeah, you know. So she heard me sing and she was like, oh, I love your voice. Even like, because her favorite song I do is like Brown Eyed Girl on guitar, and what's the other one? There's some other ones, Indian Lake, and Have You Ever Seen the Rain? So she loves those songs, and you know, those are kind of the songs that when she hears them, like she'll be like, oh, can you just sing like once? Well, now she does. Can you sing like Indian Lake? Yeah, that's fine. I don't care. Even for my 21st, she came over to my house and she's like, you're playing guitar for me. I'm like, do I have to?
You know, you love to, though. You got to keep her entertained.
Oh, yeah. That's how it is. But I love her to death. She's in school right now she's going to be a preschool teacher.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah. So
good for her.
When my mom first met her, I told her, and she goes, oh, is she like, are you her case study? I'm like, really, Mom? Jennifer Lynn.
Nice, Mom. That's a good one. Oh, very good one.
Yes.
Well, Jake, this has been a lot of fun, man.
Oh, yes.
What else do you want to talk about? What do you love about Kankakee County? What's your favorite thing about
some of the people? Because every time I go somewhere, everyone's so nice to me, and even where I think I was at Merchant Street, and that's when Matt Yeager was in Black Cadillac, and like they were like, oh yeah, you want to talk to Matt? Yeah, go ahead, I don't care. Like they let me pass and all that. But you know, and then also we have such great musicians that grow up here, and so many great acts that go. Well, even like going to the Friendship Fest or whatever, or coming up, they have the talent shows and all kinds of stuff. Just seeing younger kids who, like how I started, I was watching other people, you know, and I love seeing that fire in kids being like, oh yeah, that's what I want to do, you know, and that's what I inspire to do. Even with my shows, be like, hey, come on, let's go. You're playing with me for a set or whatever.
Yeah.
That's how, and for me, I don't care how big I get or whatever. It's always, I want to help somebody else out. And I know you're the same way. You love to help other people out too. I know that.
Well, thanks, man. Yeah, I always try to. Yeah, that's always my goal. I want to be able to help other people out.
And then he was like, let's get the lowest on the totem pole for a podcast who has ADHD and ADD.
Hey, we all have our
course.
We all have our things, right? Mm-hmm. So I just really appreciate your support.
Oh,
so,
yeah, thank you. Thank you for being you.
Thanks for pledging and.
Oh yeah, no problem.
Really, really appreciate that.
No problem. I had to go in my allowance to get that. I don't get paid that much.
Well, I hope it was worth,
my piggy bank. I had to break 3 piggy banks for you. I hope
I had
you
to
know
break
that.
3 piggy banks,
Whole
Jake,
3 piggy banks
just to give you $100.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you're listening to this, you can too be a guest on Kankakee Podcast. If you want to, pledge $100 or more, you get to be a guest on a show, but also all kinds of other stuff. I got your limited edition hoodie in there.
Yes, I see the bag.
Yeah.
It's a nice, is it Myers? Oh, it's a Myers bag.
It's a Myers bag.
You are fancy, man.
Well, I love shopping. Honestly, ever since Meyer came to town, I've been shopping there.
Yeah, my sister got to play when Myers came. I think I wasn't a part of it. No, I was actually. I think so. I could be wrong though. The marching band, BBCHS marching band was there. Yeah, my sister was there.
I was there for that.
Oh, were you?
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, wow.
Because at the time when Meyer was having their grand opening, we Milner Media, that owns the Valley, River Country, and WFAV radio stations, it was like a series of 3 or 4 remotes within like a month. It was like every weekend for a whole entire month of their grand opening, we were out there doing a radio broadcast, and I got to do 1 or 2 of them. And I remember seeing Bill Dyke there, and I remember seeing the marching band there.
Yes, I love that marching band, man. They're so good. Even like the Olivet band, even though I don't go there anymore, I still support them.
Did you go to Olivet for it was 2 years, right? Or was it just a year?
It was just a year. Yeah, it was just a year because I was in the marching band with them, and I remember doing because they were going to Italy at that time, and I didn't have money to go to Italy because it was crazy expensive.
Of course,
but I was on the cymbal line for that, and then we used to have jam sessions down in I think it's called Larson. It's the music department. We would go downstairs and have jam sessions just every night, just the percussion. And we had a few people who played different instruments and, just living life. Because we were all musicians and we all loved playing music together. And, that's how it actually started. When our first band camp, I think we went into one of the band rooms.
Mm-hmm.
And a bunch of us brought our guitars, and people were bringing basses and all kinds of stuff. They're acoustic bass, and we just had jam sessions because we were all bored.
Yeah, that sounds like fun.
Oh yeah, it's always fun.
Well, you're all college kids. You know?
We're all college.
You want to
kids.
jam?
What else are you gonna do? I mean, come on.
Yeah, musicians love to jam. Not all, but some.
No, not
most.
all of them, but some of them. We had probably maybe 3/4 of the percussion. We always hung out together. We would go on small trips together. I know that they were gonna go last day. Because I technically dropped out before the end of the year, but we were supposed to go to Wisconsin to some place to go skiing, I think it was, or something, and we had a lot of plans. And I was like, well, I'm musician, I'm doing stuff, and I got to miss out on that. But for me, it was just hanging out with all of them and growing friendships and all that. So
cool. So do you have any shows coming up?
That I know on the top of my head, yes. I'm doing an open mic night again because I love doing those. Those are always fun, doing smaller crowds. I can't think of when it is though. Oh, my girlfriend just texted me and said, "Hey, are you at the podcast?"
Be like, "Yep, no, I'm doing it right now."
Inside Out Bar. It's in.
Isn't that Gilman?
Gilman, yes. I'm at the Inside Out Bar, and then.
When's that?
It is. I should have said something. It's April 22nd. It's at 7:30. It's with actually Ryan Leggett.
Okay. I just saw Ryan the other day.
Yeah, he's cool. I love
Ryan Leggett is works at King Music.
Yeah, he's a King Music guy.
Yeah. I needed some more mic cables for the podcast setup, and and help me out.
Yeah, and I'm actually looking for if anybody out there, man, if you need a gig or need somebody to drum, man, I'm down.
Okay, cool. It's good to know. So you're just looking to play with
I don't
whoever?
care who. Yeah.
Okay. That's good to know.
I am cool and all, but
Well, you're open, and that's good.
Yeah, and I'm always open for anything,
Okay.
I've been in talks, and I don't know if I can actually talk about much of it, but I got contacted not too long ago for a national tour doing with somebody who's I think a local meaning Illinois, but I don't know if I'm gonna do that or not. But I'm always getting offers for that stuff,
Well, I hope it works out for you.
Oh yeah. But I can't leave. Kankakee County is my.
Well, if it's just a tour, you'll be back. You'll be back.
I know.
Yeah. All right. Well, Jake, Vaughn, thank you so much. Seriously, again, for your support.
Oh, no problem.
Anything else before we go?
Not that I can think of on top of my head. I mean, if y'all are ever looking for a gig for anything, I don't care what it is. It can be a grandpa's 70th birthday or I don't know, something like that. You can always hit me up. Jake Vaughn Music on Facebook. You can email me at jakevaughnmusic@gmail.com and just say, hey, I want to play with you, or hey, do you have a gig or whatever. But, I'm always open to do anything at this point.
Awesome. That's good to know. Yeah,
Yes.
parties or someone needs a drummer, like you said.
Yeah, I did. The most I've gotten was like college parties, like playing at college parties, or what's the other one that I did that I was like, oh, I can't believe I'm doing this. A birthday party. I did a birthday party not too long ago, and I'm going to be doing a wedding coming up too.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I'm doing 2 or 3 weddings. One of them's an Olivet student, actually.
Awesome.
Which is fun.
Yeah, that'll be a good time.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks again, Jake.
Oh, no problem. Hopefully I can come back on and we could talk more music and all that.
Sure. And we can, maybe we'll jam next time.
Yes, definitely.
I'll have to break out my guitar and you can break out your drums.
Yes.
Yeah, there we go.
I'm down for that.
Well, that concludes this episode of Kankakee Podcast. I'm Jake Lamore. Thank you so much for listening. Please share this podcast with a family member, friend, or neighbor you think might enjoy learning new things about the people and places of Kankakee County. Also, a special thank you to our patrons for helping make this episode possible, including Jake Lee, Jesse Arsenal, Dave Barron, Daryl Damper, Samantha Rochnowski, Lake Iverson, Travis Garcia, Jane Bostwick, Dawn Harrison, Simon Topless, Scott Wright, Carrie O'Connell, Jamie Race, Joanne Berry, Anthony Vaselli, Eric Olson, Dan DeBoard, Jeff and Rosa Carroll, Teague Dreenan, Sandy and Steve Twait, and Rose Lucky. Now, to become a podcast patron, go to KankakeePodcast.com and click on the Patron tab. If you pledge $5 or more per month, you'll also hear your name announced on an episode of Kankakee Podcast. Now, there's also other rewards like access to extended versions of episodes, behind-the-scenes podcast episodes, podcast merch, discounts on special events. There's even an option for you and I to spend a day together at the Kankakee County Museum, and so much more. Your monthly pledge is truly appreciated, and our goal right now is to reach $400 per month, which right now we're at about 60% funded. So please sign up for the patron program today at KankakeePodcast.com. Our theme song is by Lupe Carroll.